going to work on the arm, and as usual we start with the highlight. I found that, oh, right now I'm adding the warm light at this point. Now I found out that when I do I'm going to use a reference, I'll go ahead and make a copy of that reference in black and white and in color. And in, of course, black and white, you see the values more. You tend to see the lights going into the darks better. So I use that to help me, and it helps me a lot in seeing where things are going from light to dark. Of course, now I'm adding the cool light, and where you saw the crease right by the elbow, I went ahead and used a half tone, and I will eventually go into a shadow. Underneath the armpit, I went ahead and used the accent, which is the darkest dark that we have on there, which is the number 6, and also where the crease is for the bottom portion of the arm. See, there's the shadow, which is the number 5, along with a little bit of the number 6. Now I'm blending. And I'll also be going back and forth, adding a little bit of the highlight and the warm light. For some reason, sometimes they get lost. There's my blending. And it's important to note that every time you do a blending, wipe your brush really good with a napkin, because you don't want to get darks into your lights, and eventually everything will start getting muddy. So every time you go, for example, if you're blending from a highlight to a warm light, if they're both next to each other and you're blending them, and you're going to go into a next one, like blending from a warm light to a cool light, wipe that brush really good. Or if you just blended some shadows, you don't want to go into a highlight. So, or you can change your brush. One thing I forgot to mention about the hair, when you're doing the hair and you're doing the highlights and you're doing the dark shadows in the hair, always do it like very lightly, because you want the hair to look soft. So when you're adding the highlights, just very lightly hold the brush and very lightly let the paint touch the hair. I didn't used to do that, if you've seen some of my other videos, but of course I'm learning as I'm going. And for this arm, you will see me continuously adding highlights, and you can start seeing the bicep along with the deltoid you'll start seeing the highlights pop up right there. I'm adding a little bit more highlight to start giving it a little bit of that roundness. Now I'm very lightly just tapping in the highlight and blending it as I'm going.